Lord Jamar is the second dumbest rapper on the entire flat earth.
I issued a challenge, Godfrey, to even come here to talk to Mr. Whoever, scientist man, that if he can present me a working model of a ball that water sticks to the outside of
rotating.
it. Yes, as it rotates, I'll gladly sit down and have a talk with him. He hasn't showed me such model.
And can be disproven with like middle school level physics.
Really?
So yeah, we can go ahead and you can rattle off your
do it.
talking points.
Do you have a working model of a ball that has water sticking to the outside of it? Can you show me a working model of that?
A tennis ball.
But, yes, wet. And that, but no. That's not water sticking to a ball. That's saturation of water on the ball.
So
I want you to show me where water sticks to the outside of a ball as it spins. It doesn't go to the equator of the ball and spin off.
I heard what you said.
Show me a working model. Hang on.
You said something very
Show
stupid.
me a working model.
Okay. The reason that things stick to the Earth is because the Earth is extremely massive, so it generates a very large gravitational field. When water falls off of a ball, whatever ball you're talking about, to the Earth, it's because of the large gravitational field exerted by the Earth. So when you're talking about water sticking to a ball, your desired demonstration of gravity fails because gravity exists. Things fall to the ground.
There is density and buoyancy, sir. Gravity is not some magical thing that makes things drop to the ground. It depends the medium that it is in. If I drop something in this water, depending on how heavy it is, it's going to sink or float.
Wait, I want you all to talk. But
density
I want to hear both.
First of all, this guy came out real disrespectful, talk about the stupidest. Like if he was in this room, I'd be smacking the shit out of him right now.
I did his podcast. I've never disrespected his podcast. I always was respectful to his podcast. You know, when they were going back and forth, Dave didn't stand down. He was like, "No, you don't know what you talking about." And I was like, "Okay, this is gonna be good." And it got a little viral. It got a little viral and shit. And then he was like, "Yo, take this dude off." After that happened, you know, he was like, "Yo, yeah, man, don't show the episode." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that my money up." You know what I'm saying? Like, don't show it, because we cut it off right away too. Like I say, "Oh, this is gonna be cool." Yeah, it happens, and I said I won't show it. Yeah. You know, as a friend, I won't do it. I did not show it.
Yeah. Okay, y'all saw the bullshit. That happened on Godfrey's show with, you know, the fake professor. And I'm going to tell you, I can't get too much into detail about this right now because I think there's some things going on. But all I could say is I apologize for the poor showing. To all my flat earth people out there, this changes nothing. Although I know I made myself look bad from being out of sorts for many different reasons that I can't necessarily get into at this moment. But I definitely was not myself that night. And I thought certain people were my friend, you know. And you don't want to believe that your friends would do certain things, but yeah, it's definitely possible. But yeah, I was just not in my right state of mind. I apologize for allowing y'all to see me lose my cool. Yeah, that's what happened. I lost my cool. I let this sucker, you know, pull me into some shit. You know, there's a guy on the show that used to be an ex-pimp, and, you know, since he couldn't best me the last time, he did what a pimp does, and he got a to do his dirty work. And that's what happened. Godfrey didn't sell you out. You asked for a debate. That wasn't a debate, though. That was a setup. Like, that was usually in the debate, you have somebody who's neutral, you know what I mean? Yeah, but everybody in that room was in on some.
What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Gang, listen. Yeah, man. I am coming to a point where I am all set with Lord Jamar. Well, I've been all set with Lord Jamar. I have stopped watching Lord Jamar's podcast at least 2 years ago. Minimum. I find Lord Jamar to be absolutely unbearable. I find him to be one of the smartest dummies in hip-hop. And I find him to be overly obnoxious and untrustworthy, to be honest with you. And I'm going to explain why. I just want to have a discussion about Lord Jamar. There's so many things to talk about that it started making my head spin. I've been working on this video for at least 4 days minimum. And it just keeps writing itself. And it's so much nonsense to unpack that I don't even have the time to discuss how absolutely ridiculous Lord Jamar is. So I'm going to start from now and work my way back, right? And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to say the things that Godfrey cannot say, right? We all know Godfrey, the comedian, very good guy, right? Funny guy, African guy. This guy does nothing but bring good vibes in the room, and he's always speaking his truth. He has his podcast. Him and Jamar started their podcast around the same time. And I just got wind that Lord Jamar is being extremely unfair and obnoxious. He's ended his friendship with Godfrey. And I'm just going to tell you, this is, to me, it's offensive. Because the reason he ended his friendship with Godfrey is the most sucker stuff you will ever see from a grown man in what I believe is his 50s, I'm going to say. So I'm going to work my way back to why Lord Jamar is the dumbest rapper, second dumbest rapper. The first dumbest rapper has undisputably been proven to be from Canada, right? After all the shenanigans that have happened to him. I'm not talking about Maestro Fresh West. So let me speak on this whole situation with Lord Jamar, because I'm going to say the things Godfrey can't say. Godfrey's trying to be peaceful. Lord Jamar is an idiot. Lord Jamar is a flat earther, right? And salute to the flat earthers. You're wrong, by the way. And I got some friends that are flat earthers. Not many, but I got a few, and I respect them, right? But you're wrong. The earth is round, gang. I'm just going to be honest with you. Listen, I don't even debate about flat earth. But Jamar thought he could debate about flat earth. Professor Dave thinks otherwise. So I'm going to work my way backwards as to why Jamar is dumb. I don't know if you know what's going on, but a guy named Professor Dave, who is a certified debunker of flat earth and flat earth theory, he has 3.5 million followers on YouTube. This guy is already in his own bag. Lord Jamar decided one day he could debate anybody online. It was Lord Jamar, some guy named Dante, and Godfrey on Godfrey's podcast. They set this up. Lord Jamar, as arrogantly as he possibly could be, went on record saying that he would debate anyone. He would debate Neil deGrasse Tyson and eat him up to prove that the earth is flat. They tried to get Neil deGrasse Tyson, which I'm disrespected that they even waste that man time asking him to do this. It's irritating enough. It's irritating enough to have to sit through Lord Jamar, but you're going to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson to waste his goddamn time when he could be making Star Talk, right? I don't got time to play games with Lord Jamar. So he obviously didn't pick up the phone and make an appearance on the Godfrey podcast. So they asked some other random black guy, which they're not naming it. Like, we tried to get a black guy, but he wouldn't do it either. So then they went to Professor Dave, who gladly took the challenge, right? Now, admittedly, Professor Dave, this is his job, to get as many views on YouTube and come up with as much content as possible. He makes content. Making content is difficult, gang. But Professor Dave is ready for your ass. When you start talking about the earth is flat and you start denying gravity exists. When you start saying dumb shit like that, Professor Dave got time today. So let me just explain to you in shorthand what happened. Lord Jamar went live with Godfrey on Godfrey's podcast with Dante, the quote-unquote ex-pimp. He's the regretful pimp, right? And Professor Dave. Before Professor Dave even gets on the podcast, he can hear, but he can't interact yet. They like wait for the intro, yada yada. So they set up the intro. Lord Jamar is talk. I used to always say Lord Jamal. It really onto the internet age, really. Because back in the day when he was with the Brand Newmans, it was like Lord Jamal. Like we used to say Jamal. Don't lie. But when we got older and we started seeing him on the internet on Vlad, right? And we're gonna talk about all that. I'm gonna be here for a while. Cause I'm done with this Lord Jamar shit. Just gonna be honest with you, gang. We're gonna be here for a while. But before Professor Dave could even get a word in, Lord Jamar talking hella shit about this dude. Talking hella shit. Now, some people say, in hindsight, well, Professor Dave was spitting crap about Lord Jamar before he even came, or he did a video. I don't care about none of that. We're going live right now. Respect me, gang. Respect me. If we about to go live, we've never met, we've never spoken face to face. You shouldn't be talking hella shit before I even get my word, before they even say, good evening, sir. I can hear you. So we heard him. He's talking hella shit. Calling him this, calling him that, and he ain't even on the screen yet. So of course he came on the screen barking. Barking. Because he know Lord Jamar is dumb. So he came on the screen barking. Godfrey's sitting there trying to be peaceful, right? It's Dante, who the reason we even have this debate, I believe his name is Dante, right? He's over there giggling because he know he got Lord Jamar right where he want his dumb ass. Talking about the goddamn earth is flat. So exactly what you expect was going to start happening. This dude start to tear his dumb ass up, line for line. He's like, show me a working model of a ball and you could put water on it. Shut up, dumbass. That's not how it works. Y'all can go watch the video. I'm not going to sit here and break down everything that this guy said, but let me just say this. He sunned him. He sunned him so bad, the dude started calling them names. Lord Jamar started threatening to beat this dude up. Lord Jamar got so mad and red in the face, he told Godfrey, you can either have him here or have me. One of us got to go. Force Godfrey to cut the dude out of the podcast. Mind you, Godfrey, this is his living. He set this up. He sat there for an hour trying to get this all together for his content. He's streaming live. Yo, gang, I'm going to be honest. Lord Jamar looks so goddamn dumb. Even he knew he looked dumb. Lord Jamar looked like the drunk uncle that's in front of the liquor store begging for change, and you ask him to count to 3, and this dude can't make it to 2. That's how dumb Lord Jamar looked. And he knew it. He knew it. Soon as that thing went off, he was so mad. He telling Dante, listen, I'm trying to be friends with you, gang. So he was hot at Dante. He hot at Godfrey. Godfrey never, I'm going to be honest, I was frustrated. Because you couldn't even let Professor Dave get the words in because Lord Jamar would ask a question, didn't answer it. He was talking over the guy. It was irritating. There's no moderation because Godfrey's scared of him. Just gonna be honest. Godfrey's scared of him and Dante just laughing. So we sitting there, we can't even get the information because Lord Jamar is acting like a complete asshole. So, boom. It ends. And just like an asshole, dumbass dude would do, he asked Godfrey, delete the podcast. Right? So when you go live, the podcast goes into a record mode. Once it's recorded, it saves itself, and then it sits on YouTube. It processes it, and then people can rewatch it. Before it could process and people could rewatch it, he asked Godfrey to remove it because he knew he looked dumb, right? You're thinking in the story, he got beat up. He gonna take his lumps like a grown man. He set himself up. It wasn't even Neil deGrasse Tyson. It was the third string. You lost to the JV squad. And I'm not saying Professor Dave ain't no, he ain't, you know what I'm saying? This dude came in like Mike Tyson, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. The old Mike, right? Bust your head wide open to the white meat. You sitting there calling them names, calling them the F word, calling them all kind of names. You was gonna do this, that, and the third. You ain't gonna never see this white dude in your whole life. Probably cap your ass if you run up on him. So calm down. You ain't gonna do nothing but sit on your flat ass earth and cry your own tears. So let me keep it moving. Lord Jamar then at this point asked Godfrey to remove the podcast. Godfrey, which I'm going to be honest, I've been through this, where people want to say this and that when it's live and then want you to delete it, right? And at that point, it's up to you to delete it. A lot of times you do it because you are a friend. But at the end of the day, when we start making bigger bags of money and you agree to go live and you say some wild stuff, and it ain't even that he said some wild stuff. It wasn't like he said some stuff that he regret. No, he just got his ass beat. Bad. And he was humiliated in front of his flat earth friends, his rapper buddies, all the girlies that he likes. Everything was not looking good for Jamar this day, gang. I'm just going to be honest. So Godfrey deletes this thing, which was it was a gold mine because Professor Dave had it on he recorded it too, which they did not know. Professor Dave got their ass. He said, listen, I knew they was going to delete it. Professor Dave said, I knew they was going to delete it. So I saved it on my end. And here you go. You can watch it, gang. This joint was gold. That joint probably had 1 million views right now. That's a lot of money, gang. I'm just going to be honest. So listen, this guy, Jamar, realized, it came out anyway. Now, it's real. I got absolutely defeated 42-0 in front of my flat earth crew. What am I going to do? And like a true narcissist, idiot, old head rapper, and I'm starting to realize, man, I'm just going to be honest, a lot of our legends from that day shouldn't have mics, shouldn't have shows, right? I got MC Shan, shouldn't have, please go get MC Shan phone. It's funny, but not in a good way. I'm just going to be honest. MC Shan will go off today, then apologize tomorrow when he gets whatever bag he was screaming for, because it's always over some money. He was screaming at Nas over a bag, right? Now he's screaming at Pete Rock over a bag. Once he gets his little money, MC Shan gonna be, that's a whole nother video. We talk about Shane another time. A lot of my legends, a lot of the people I grew up on shouldn't have my mics. And Lord Jamar is one of them. So Lord Jamar goes live on his Godcast, which I told you, it's probably been longer than 2 years. I cannot stand watching Lord Jamar. I'm just going to be honest. He's fumbling through the podcast. He don't know if you can hear him. The audio drops. It's just, that's beyond, that's not even half of what's going on. He's making up facts as he goes along. They're making up shit that don't make no sense. Got a comment and it's always negative. I'm like, gang, I'm good watching this shit. So he goes on his show and starts to blame. First of all, he starts out with an apology right? He says, guys, yeah, you saw me at my worst. I wasn't at my best. Your best? Your best? There ain't no best, my nigga. You was at your best. You wasn't your best. Your worst is you could have been comatose. This was your best. And he just walked you down and demolished everything you was talking about. You made the flat earthers look bad. So guess what happened when a dumb person got to start making excuses? They're going to blame everybody else. It's arrogant, obnoxious. His friend, Godfrey, now is the villain. Now it's Godfrey set me up. He's looking in the live comments and they're going up and down. Yo, it's always a dumbass motherfucker. Yo, I think Godfrey set you up, son. Only niggas that watch that shit talk like that. Son, yo, Godfrey set you up, son. So here goes Jamar. Yeah. His wheels start turning. Now he didn't have an excuse. When he went live, he didn't have an excuse. He didn't have it yet. He's reading the comments. Yo, son, Godfrey set you up, son. He's like, yeah, he set me up, B. He set me up, B. So now Godfrey is the problem. Mind you, I told you, Godfrey asked him 2 times. Just let me hear. He said, just let me hear the guy, because it got ridiculous. He said, just let me hear the guy. I want to hear what he's saying. We brought him here. Godfrey really he's looking for answers. Lord Jamar wouldn't let the guy give him answers because he wants to stay in this dumb bubble of nonsense. Godfrey started challenging literal science. He started saying science itself, just science, not all of science. He didn't believe it. It got bad, gang. It was absolutely go watch that. Go watch that video. I'm not gonna sit and talk about everything he said because your head would explode how dumb Jamar sounded in this show. So then Lord Jamar starts to say Godfrey not only set him up, but Dante the ex-pimp drugged him. So now he's set up and drugged. And anybody sane would say, my nigga, you came in there already, you're smoking in there, you're whatever going on. Like, you could see that this dude is in his own bag. No one drugged this guy. I watched these guys talk about it after. They said he rolled up 2 blunts in there by himself. Right? Talking about somebody gave him this, gave him that. What they gonna drug you for? First of all, drugged you with what? And then second of all, if they drug you, how they gonna get good content out of this? But in his world, Godfrey set him up and Dante, the ex-pimp, drugged him. Dante already said, nigga, I would never drug you. Why would I drug you? Don't make no sense. You dumb enough. We already knew what was going to happen. We didn't need to drug you. Yeah, it's fucking gonna fall asleep. How we going to have a show if you're drugged? Make it make sense, gang. But no, now he's talking legal action. I might take legal action. You're going to stand there and lie on these people and then try to say you might take legal action for what? You got cooked. The only person got more cooked than you in the last 9-10 months was Drake. You got cooked, Jamar. And now you want to burn down the friendship with Godfrey. And see, Godfrey a good dude. I'm going to tell you what I would do. I'm going to tell you what I would do. I wouldn't even go live. I wouldn't even have responded. I'm just going to be honest. This is how I feel. I wouldn't even have responded. I would have got in my car, went straight to his house. I'm dead ass. Dead ass. Because whatever going to happen, going to happen. I need to see your ass tonight. Whatever going to happen tonight. I'm not making no response video. I'm not copping no plea. I'm not even explaining myself. I'm coming to see your ass because you got fucking cooked. And then you go live and blame me when I try to tell your ass to chill out? You gonna say I drugged you? Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? You Neil deGrasse Tyson. You Tyson versus Jake Paul. Okay. This is the problem I have with this. This guy, Jamar, does this. He's a contrarian. He's negative about, he just said some shit about Kendrick. How's Kendrick the face of the West Coast of LA? That's the game. The game represent that. The Kendrick was a nerd. Now he's some kind of gangbanger. No, he's not. It's game represents LA. Right? You hear him every year, he's not gonna talk about Eminem. Next thing you know, it's Eminem. Eminem can't, he's the white rapper. I have mad problems with Jamar because it's always something that's against what everybody else is doing, right? Which that's fine. You can do that, right? But now you're taking it where you're going to try to blow up other people's reputations, other people's podcasts. Now you got your fans going at Godfrey talking about you said it, because some people just dumb, gang. Any grown man that watched that podcast know that Lord Jamar don't know what the hell he's talking about. The dude told him before they started, he said, you memorized a bunch of stuff and you're going to regurgitate it. I already know what you're going to say before you say it. That means Lord Jamar wasn't prepared and Professor Dave was. Professor Dave walked this dude down topic for topic, line for line. He had an answer for every dumbass thing Jamar said. And then, believe me, they was dumb. It got dumber and dumber and dumber. I have had a problem with Jamar for a while. I don't like, and this is, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know some of y'all gonna take offense to this, but I looked at when Lord Jamar used to go on Vlad. That's how I started really paying attention. I saw Jamar on Oz, the TV show. I saw him on Oz. I saw him on some other shows. Lord Jamar is a good actor. He's a great actor. I like the roles. He plays the same role. He's always a tough-ass convict dude, but he plays it well, right? He does his job, right? He was on The Last OGs, on a lot of stuff. He's a great actor, right? Pays the bills. But at the same time, when Lord Jamar used to go on Vlad TV, that blew him up. For at least 6-7 years, he was going on Vlad, and it raised his status up. I guarantee you some of them acting jobs came because of his visibility on Vlad TV, not his rapping on Vlad TV. So end of the day, I know for a fact that Lord Jamar would not be where he is if it wasn't for Vlad TV. Now, I say all that to say, Lord Jamar was I want to say not coordinated, but he was asking him or telling him. Vlad was telling Lord Jamar, you would be great on a podcast. You would be great. He told him to start a podcast and I would help you. He would help you. And I believe he did help him. Lord Jamar was like, I ain't gonna do that. He in the beginning, he didn't even know how to start it. He was like confused and like, okay, I'm gonna try. He had to keep, we saw him pressing him to do the podcast. So one day he starts the podcast, the God Pod, right? The God Hour or whatever it's called, right? And I was rooting for him. I was rooting for him, just like I was rooting for Rory and Maul in the beginning. I was rooting for Lord Jamar. Right? And some of y'all not going to agree with me, but I'm going to tell you what bothered me about Lord Jamar. And it's just got nothing to do with Vlad, but what bothered me was Lord Jamar was rocking with Vlad. Vlad was coming on the show and everything, and then they had that little tiff about Minister Farrakhan, right? And then he just stopped speaking to Vlad. He started dogging him and this and that. And to me, it ain't about Vlad. To me, it's about loyalty. This man was holding you down, having you on that podcast, keeping your career alive. Right? Again, before you get in my comments talking about Vlad's a controversial, I don't care. I ain't trying to hit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about loyalty. I'm talking about this dude encouraged you to get that podcast. He helped you start it. He helped the numbers go up because he went on there. And then when y'all had one tiff, you turned your back on him. It never sat well with me. It never sat well with me. Because simple fact of the matter is, if you help me get to this next level, you start me in the podcast game, damn near give me all the advice, all the camera work. You give me everything. Probably gave him money. I don't know what he gave him. But at the end of the day, he thanked him. He like, yo, if it wasn't for you, Vlad, da-da-da. And that podcast was small when it was like It did not blow up early. I'm just going to be honest. That joint took some time. Like I said, he was a mess on that joint, fumbling through the joint. It was almost unwatchable. So then when him and Vlad had this fallout, so what I'm saying is we could work this out. I don't got to dog you. Right? Same shit he's doing right now too. Godfrey, I don't got to dog you to make my numbers go up. It became, I'm dogging Vlad every week. You ain't got to like me. We can disagree. We can go our separate ways. But you ain't got to shit on me every goddamn week. Again, before you get in my comments defending Vlad, I'm not talking about Vlad. I'm talking about you're shitting on the guy that you wouldn't even have the podcast without him encouraging you. So, okay, you upset about the Minister Farrakhan thing. Cool. I'm not coming on your show no more. Cool. I don't want to be associated my name with yours no more. Cool. I asked you to take my videos down. You're not going to take them down. Cool. It is what it is. We're going to go our separate ways. It's like Jay-Z and Dame Dash. Jay-Z don't be talking about Dame Dash every fucking week. But Lord Jamar went on a run of very disrespectful conversations about this man when y'all only had one disagreement. Then you start calling him everything in the book. Well, he wasn't all that last week when you was cool with him. And you was going over there on his show. So a man that, to me, I'm just going to be honest, a man that could flip on you all of a sudden, you are this and you're that and da-da-da. Well, I was that before you got mad at me, gang. I was all that. Before you got mad at me, I was all of that. Everything you're naming now, I was all of that. But now you mad and now, oh yeah, he this, he that, da-da-da. I don't like that. I don't care what the reason is. If we cool today and then next month we got to fall out, I don't need to hear you talking about I'm this, I'm that. Now he's talking the same shit to Godfrey. Can't trust nobody like this, gang. Because you roll with me for 6, 7, 8 years. We used to go to dinner and do all this shit. We cool. I know your kids and everything. Don't get on your podcast talking shit about me. Just gonna be honest. Just gonna be honest. I live by a certain code. I don't know about none of that other shit, all that goofy YouTube shit for numbers and shit. Just keep it civil and move on with your life. We don't gotta be cool. We don't gotta be boys. But now he's on there talking about we gonna see what happened about Godfrey. We gonna. That's gonna come to it. Like basically he gonna like find out. We gonna find out really what happened. Like he gonna step to him or something. I'm like, gang, listen. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at this. Godfrey got every right to slump this dude. Because he didn't do nothing to you. He put you on his podcast and you asked him to delete something because you messed up. And then you're gonna go on your podcast and say they set me up and drugged me. And now you're trying to make Godfrey look like the bad guy. It's grade A sucker shit. Because you look dumb on the podcast. So I watched other YouTubers talk about this and they're being nicey. And they're like, yo, Jamar, yo, that's not cool, bro. I'm gonna say it like this, you're dumb. And this is goofy. And you've been goofy for a while. Right? You're following this guy, he who shall not be named. I go out of my way to not say this guy who just became the president's name on my show. I've been going out of my way to not say it. But you openly love this dude, right? Mm-hmm. We ain't forget you. We ain't forget. So I'm going to leave it at this. Godfrey, I'm going to say it for you. It's some sucker shit. Jamar's a sucker for this. And if he roll up on you incorrect, slap his ass. Slap him because he know better. He a grown man in his 50s. He knows better. He's trying to play with you and play with the ex-pimp, Dante, whoever he is, right? I'm just going to be honest. And Professor Dave probably going to put two bullets in you if you run up on him. Dudes ain't playing out here, man. Dudes is too grown for this. You're the only one acting silly about this nonsense. You believe that the earth is flat. First of all, every rapper that says that, you look at the history of them, it's usually a bunch of nonsense following them. Just gonna be honest. Don't get in my comments talking about the earth is flat. Lord Jamar has effectively proved that the earth is round without a shadow of a doubt. CLBMG, I'm gonna catch y'all on that flip side. Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
CLB.